don't pay attention to the patterns that I teach, the rules that I have refined over 15 years, then you can get squashed. And I don't want you to get squashed. I don't want you to be one of those traders or investors who lose half or all their money. You need to play by the rules. Hey, this is Tim Sykes, millionaire trader and mentor, and I'm here to teach you. Why? Because my life has been changed drastically from growing up in middle-class Orange, Connecticut. My parents gave me control of my bar mitzvah gift money, roughly $12,000. I've taken that and turned it into nearly $4 million in just a few short years. And that is everything. I know that a lot of people say money is the root of all evil. Those people don't have money. Money is great, okay? Not just to waste, not just to spend and buy superficial things. I have the nice stuff. I have the Lamborghini. I have a multi-million-dollar mansion in Miami. I have the $35,000 watch, which I like to throw for fun. That's not what life is about. That's not what my money is about. That's not what I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to be financially independent. Financial security, being able to take care of your loved ones. Because I have had a fantastic life. I've been to over 80 countries. I've traveled the world. I've met all the most incredible people in the world, all the most beautiful women in the world. I've had a lot of adventures. But this is not about me anymore. It's about you. My story, I'll keep making money. I'll keep living the life. But my story is already pretty much done. Your story is just beginning if you take my teachings and apply them to your life. I don't care where you are in the world. You could be in Europe. You could be in Asia. You could be here in America. I'm here at Harvard University. I was invited to speak here. So I'm going to teach you. You could be a man. You could be a woman. You could be old. You can be young. What I am looking for is to teach people who are dedicated. Do you want to change your life? Do you want to be financially independent? I am overwhelmed by people who say that they want to, but they don't back it up. I am looking for dedicated students. I didn't get here easily, okay? It wasn't just like, oh, let me take $12,000 and turn it into $4 million with no work. No, it's been a journey. It's been a fantastic journey, but I need you to understand that it requires hard work and study. That is what I do now. I teach people because I also trade, but I get more fulfillment from teaching students and changing your life, just the way my teachings have changed my life. I have not one, but 2 millionaire students so far. Michael Good crossed $1 million with my teachings. Tim Grittani followed him. And now Tim Grittani is up to $1.7 million in profits with my patterns after starting with just $1,500 to his name 3 years ago. Think about that. $1,500 into $1.7 million. I know you don't believe me. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds hype-ish. But I am here at Harvard University, okay? I am here at one of the greatest institutions in the world because what I teach is real. And it can change your life. And if you have $1,500 to your name, you could become a millionaire in just a few years. If you study, if you want it bad enough. I've done a lot of press. I've been on CNBC, I've been on ABC, CBS, Market Watch, Business Week, TheStreet.com, AOL Money, MSN Money, the New York Times, the New York Observer. I was on the cover of Young Money magazine. I was in Trader Monthly's Top 30 Under 30. I was the #1 ranked short bias hedge fund manager for 3 straight years. I've done a lot. But it's up to you now because there's not much more that I can do. I'll keep earning millions of dollars every single year, as I have done. I'll keep teaching people. But I want to create more millionaire students. That's it. That's what gets me up every morning. Wake up bright and early and I'm like, what can I do today to help create another millionaire? So here's what we're going to do. Enough bragging about me. I have to brag. I have to show you why you should learn from me. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people in the stock market that claim to be experts and they can't back it up. Don't even get me started on financial commentators or CNBC or ugly bald people. They don't have the track record. They're right 30 to 40% of the time. I'm right 72 to 73% of the time. Go look at all of my trades. I show them all transparently. And here is why you need to learn from me. Because what I teach is not taught anywhere else. You won't find this on CNBC. You won't find this on the Wall Street Journal. You won't find this in Bloomberg. I'll tell you why the financial media will not cover what I teach. Because what I teach is an undiscovered niche in the stock market. It is not mainstream. It is not known or practiced by mutual fund managers or hedge fund managers. It's for the average person. People like you. People who have $1,500 or $5,000 or $10,000 to their name, and Wall Street does not care about you. I do, because I used to be like you. I used to have just a few $1,000s to my name. True story. Just like Tim Grittani, just like Michael Good. I also have a lot of other students. Eric Wood started with just a few $1,000s. Mark Crook started with just a few $1,000s. Ashaya Burton started with a few thousand. She bought herself a brand new BMW. I have students all over the world. They're not just guys. But what this can do for your life is turn you into somebody with just a few $1,000s into somebody with a few $1 million in a few years. That's what I love teaching, because if you have a few $1 million, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the world. It's pretty amazing. You can go anywhere, you can take care of your loved ones, you can buy pretty much anything you want. And it's a great feeling to have that security. I want you to have it. So here we go. Here's the first lesson. Why do I trade penny stocks? Ooh, ugly word, penny stocks, right? Maybe you've seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street. He traded penny stocks. He scammed people. That's what he did in that movie. That is not what I do. I teach people about the scams. You can actually profit from penny stocks if you understand the rules, if you understand how they work, and if you understand how to identify scams and not be taken advantage of. Far too many people get taken advantage of every single day because they're looking at the wrong patterns, the wrong indicators, the wrong stocks. I get thousands of emails every single day. It's very, very sad. And I see people losing half or 3/4 of their money. First of all, what is a penny stock? A penny stock is just a stock trading under $5 a share or even under $1 a share. They're very cheap, they're very speculative, and they're very volatile. These are the smallest companies that trade on the public US stock markets, and this is my specialty. I did not ask to be a penny stock trader. I did not grow up as a little kid and say, I want to be a penny stock trader. That's not what happened. I just found my niche and I made a lot of money, and then I kept doing it. So be it. And I've tried other, niches. I've tried the stuff that they talk about on CNBC and the Wall Street Journal. It doesn't work. 90 to 95% of traders lose money. That's an academic stat. Anybody here at Harvard will tell you that. 70% plus of mutual fund managers can't beat the S&P 500 year in, year out. That is the major market index in the US. And professional managers can't even beat it. So how am I taking a few $1,000s and turning into a few million? So are my students. How is that possible? It's with penny stocks. These ignored, hated upon little stocks are very, very predictable. It's a beautiful thing. They might have one or two products. They might be an outright scam. But if you pay attention to the rules, you can actually profit off that. So let me explain what volatility means in regards to penny stocks. You might have heard of stocks like Apple and Google and GE and Bank of America. By and large, those stocks don't move that much. Best case scenario, you hold these stocks for a few years and you might double your money. More likely, you'll probably make like 50% on your money after a few years. With penny stocks, it's a much faster paced game. You can make 50% or even double your money in one day, sometimes even in 1 hour. I know your eyes are getting big. You're like, what? Why doesn't everybody do it? This volatility comes with risks. If you don't pay attention to the patterns that I teach, the rules that I have refined over 15 years, which I'll be going over in future video lessons, then you can get squashed. And I don't want you to get squashed. I don't want you to be one of those traders or investors who lose half or all their money. You need to play by the rules. That's what I do, okay? A lot of people have a lot of opinions about me. I teach rules that I've learned over 15 years. It's no different than a driving instructor teaching people to obey red lights and traffic signs and stop signs. Think about driving if you had no regard for the rules. If you're just driving, going through red lights, ignoring stop signs, you're going to get in a crash. The same kind of thing holds true in the stock market. If you ignore rules, if you ignore the fact that, yes, these penny stocks can rise very quickly, but they can also fall very quickly if you don't take your profits. So what I'm going to teach you over the next few video lessons is how to lock in profits again and again and again. And that way you grow your account, just like my top millionaire students and several of my other students who are getting close to $1 million in profits. So what is the difference between trading and investing? Everybody loves investing. You feel good, you put your money away for years, and after a few years or a decade, you have grown your money substantially. And you didn't do anything for it. You didn't even work for it. That's a great feeling. Unfortunately, in today's volatile markets, that does not work. There's something called the lost decade that happened, where for 10 years, if you invested in safe, secure, good quality companies, your money would have grown zero. You would not have made any money. It was a lost decade. And lots of investors have that problem. Traders, we don't have that problem. We go in and out of stocks every few minutes, hours, and days. We get very good returns very quickly. And I want more people to trade. Yes, it does take some time, but the risks are actually dramatically lower because you're watching your money like a hawk. Let me ask you, if you go to Vegas and you play blackjack and you put down, let's say $1,000 on the table, do you walk away and go get a smoothie? No, you watch your money like a hawk because that is your money and it's on the table. No different in the stock market. I don't understand people who just put their money in the market and then walk away and get their figurative smoothies. I don't like that. I'm watching my money and I'm growing it every single day, every single hour. I'm thinking, how can I grow my money? And guess what? Being meticulous and being hardworking works. That's how you grow your money exponentially. Very few investors have grown their money exponentially in the past 10 to 15 years. I'm sorry, this isn't the 1960s, 1970s. You're not going to find these undiscovered blue chips that are going to grow and grow and grow. Information moves faster now, and you too must also trade faster. Before you go thinking that trading is completely safe, let me make you aware of the facts. Most traders do lose money. Most people on the internet are lying to you. That's the beauty of my business. I just have to be honest. I just have to teach you everything that I've learned in 15 years of trading and now in 6 years of teaching. I'm just showing you the ropes because I never had a mentor. I'm self-taught, unfortunately. I would have earned a lot more money and gained a lot more knowledge faster had I had a mentor. So my job these days is to be the mentor to you that I never had. So risk number one, people on the internet. There's a lot of message boards. Yahoo Finance, Investors Hub, TheLion.com. Trust nobody. These people are hiding behind usernames. They're trying to induce you into buying stocks that they own so that they can sell those stocks as you buy them and reap a profit. They're not trying to help you, okay? You have to understand that. I'm sorry that's what the world is, especially on the internet, especially with penny stocks, but that's the truth. When you get a stock tip in a message board or in a chat room, be very wary. It's okay to accept stock tips and be like, okay, this is an interesting company, and do your own research. But just don't blindly follow anybody, myself included. I don't want anybody blindly following my alerts. The difference is, what I teach is for you to be self-sufficient. You do need a mentor. As much as you can't trust anybody to just blindly follow the picks, you need guidance. As we talked about earlier, you need some rules. Most traders lose money because they don't have rules. They just hold on to a stock. They don't know whether to take losses at 10, 20, 30%, and soon, before you know it, you've lost half your money. Then I get an email and they say, Tim, I should have listened to you. I'm sorry, but what do I do now? Never put yourself in that position. Rule number one for me is to cut losses quickly. Then you never ever have to worry about big losses. I break rules sometimes too. I am human, okay? I'm not perfect, as much as I want to be. I win 72, 73% of the time, but my losses are smaller than my gains. And that is why my account continually grows. That is how I'm able to make 50, 75, 100% per year, which mainstream finance thinks is impossible. If you go to a mutual fund and they make 20% per year on their money, they are ecstatic. Unfortunately, because I know the plight of people with small accounts, if you make 20% on your money and you have, let's say, $5,000 to your name, you're making $1,000 over the course of the year. You're not a Starbucks barista. You need to earn more money than that. You can't live off $1,000. You need to try to grow your accounts exponentially. So, in my mind, and hopefully by the time you look through all these rules, you'll understand the rewards are far greater than the risks. If you have a small account, you have to try and grow it. You're not going to make that much money with a small account, and then the stock market is not that much fun. Many traders and investors are very embarrassed by their losses. I used to be, but not anymore. As a teacher, I have learned that losses are the single best educational tool that you can have. So let me tell you about my biggest loss. Cygnus eTransactions Inc. I remember it painfully because I personally lost over $500,000. It sucked. I was 23 years old, I was cocky, I was batting 1,000. I was already a millionaire, and I invested in my best friend's dad's company. Paperless e-ticketing printing. It was an amazing new technology. I thought that it would revolutionize the world, and because I had never lost, I invested a good chunk of my net worth. As it turned out, I was right about the technology, I was wrong about the company. I know so many traders and investors who make this mistake where they're right about a sector or a product or a technology, but they pick the wrong company. Just being right about a product does not mean that the company that you choose is going to make it. I bought into Cygnus because I saw their products, I saw their technology, I saw their contracts. They won deals with AOL, Expedia, Six Flags. All of these websites were going to have printing using Cygnus e-ticketing transaction technology. It was a fantastic opportunity in my mind. As it turned out, the company screwed up every single deal they had. They eventually went bankrupt, and I lost big. And even though I still had several $100,000 to my name at the time, I lost all my credibility. And credibility is a lot in this business. I was very bitter. I fell into drinking, and that's when the TV show Wall Street Warriors started showing, and I was drunk in every episode. Not exactly a great time for me, but you live, you learn. Now, if you watch Wall Street Warriors on Hulu, you'll laugh at drunken, bitter Tim. I can look back and say, you know what? I made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, but I didn't have any rules. I did not have any mentor. I got into this investment because it was a family friend, because I believed in the technology, and I didn't have anybody saying, you schmuck, don't do that. I want to be the guy who warns you about situations like that so you don't have to go through the years of pain and sadness that I went through. Looking back, that's fine. I made a mistake, I learned from it, now I have my rules in place. But I don't want you to have that kind of pain if it can be avoided, if I can teach you the rules before you make the boneheaded mistake. Not a lot of people have made $100,000 in one day. I'm proud to say that I have. I was just a freshman in college at Tufts University, not far from here. I didn't go to Harvard, I just speak here every now and then, but a few miles away in Medford, Massachusetts, in my freshman dorm room, I made over $100,000. That was a fantastic day for a little skinny virgin like me. I couldn't drink, I had 3 fake IDs taken away from me. I was not a very adventurous person back then, but I learned how to make a lot of money. So let me tell you about that one day. This is also chapter 6 in my best-selling book, An American Hedge Fund. I invested, or actually, more accurate, I traded a stock that had already tripled over the course of the week. It was called Illinois Superconductor. The ticker was ISCO. And I bought the stock, which was already up from 5 to 17 in the week, because on a Friday, they had a press release saying that they would be on TV that Sunday. I don't even remember what channel it was, but the press release said it's going to be a very positive story featuring our revolutionary technology. This was back during the tech bubble of 2000, so anything that was getting hyped was flying. And Illinois Superconductor was not unique. It was not special. The technology actually was not very revolutionary. It later failed. But at the time, I bought in on a Friday afternoon, putting in roughly $175,000 of my $250,000 net worth at the time, roughly 75%. I bet big because I thought that once people saw the company on TV, the stock would rise on Monday. I bought 10,000 shares at 17. It closed at 17.5 on that Friday. And I watched the TV program, very positive as expected, that Sunday. And on Monday morning, as I saw the quotes, the stock rose from 19 to 20 to 21 to 23 pre-market. I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to lock in my $60,000 in profits. Back then, there was no pre-market trading. So it was very fortunate for me because by the time the stock market opened at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the stock was at $29. And I sold for over $120,000 profit. I sat there in silence for a few minutes. And then I let out this scream. Ah! Ah! Seriously, that's what it was like. And it was crazy. And I want you to be able to scream like that. I want you to be able to have that moment where you realize that what you formerly thought was impossible actually is possible, and more importantly, it's predictable. Because that pattern happens again and again. That was the first time that I made 6 figures in one day, not the last time, and it was all based on this one pattern. It was a fantastic moment. I want you to be able to experience it. So whether you're in college, whether you're an old man in Asia and you have dial-up internet, you can still achieve this if you learn the patterns, if you focus on these trading opportunities, not investment opportunities. I should mention, the next day, the stock went to nearly $40 a share. So I could have actually doubled my money, but I was happy with my $120,000 profit. And you would be too, once you learn this pattern. Well, that is my spiel for today. I hope you have learned a little bit. In my next video lesson, I'm going to talk about how I made my first million by age 22. I'm going to detail the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, every single detail, so that you understand exactly how I did it and how you can achieve the same kind of success. My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire. So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade